on the analyst desk.
Thank you, Riv. Crumbs, you said you wanted to see picks and bans. You got to see some picks and bans here.
Yeah, I think the hero for this game was the picks and bans for Fnatic. Now, 6 top lane bans. So you got Maokai, Lulu, Sion, and then for Hecarim, Vlad, and Rumble by TSM. Now, the last remaining meta champion out of all those is the Gnar, and they don't first pick Gnar. TSM should have been thinking, you know what? Why didn't they not first pick Gnar? It's the last remaining meta champion. They get baited into picking the Gnar. Obviously, Fnatic had prepared for this. They get the counter pick in the top lane matchup. And here's another thing that I disliked about TSM's draft and really liked about Fnatic's. So they first pick the LeBlanc, and they take the LeBlanc in the second rotation. And that's after seeing the Gnar. So they know that LeBlanc is going to be completely blind. TSM has the opportunity of counterpicking that. Had they not locked in the Gnar early, they could have seen the Cassiopeia top and picked a better matchup for that. I would have liked to see a Kassadin from them. They hovered over it, get a little bit more late game scaling, be safer in the mid lane. Don't try to play against the Rek'Sai, the Gragas LeBlanc in the 2v2. You're not going to win that matchup, especially with a skirmisher saver.
And I want to go after picks and bans because execution was huge. You didn't lane swap against a Nautilus and an Urgot lane, which is extremely oppressive, but also a terrible matchup because Cassiopeia just crushes Gnar. They definitely practiced that. But also, Santorin's a non-factor. Sejuani's open, Gragas is open, Nunu's open. If you want to farm your butt off, go pick a farm jungler. Like, don't pick Rek'Sai away from Reignover and go he's 4-1 on that champion. That's what Reignover's score is on Rek'Sai. Don't pick it away from him. It's fine. Pick your 3-0 Sejuani post Cinderhall. Don't try to play their style because you're going to lose doing it. Play your style in an international tournament because you could see Fnatic was like, we're just going to play our book, and that's how they won, with complete chaos.
Yeah, the crazy thing about that game is TSM kind of changed half their playstyle by not lane swapping, but not the other half, which is send Santorin to the top part of the map.
Yeah.
You've got Cassiopeia up there with flash teleport, with Gnar, who's got CC pre-level 6. Like, if that's not a gank with the Cassiopeia pushing, I actually don't know what is. Like, you've got a knock-up, you've got a stun, you've got all the damage that comes out of both those champions early game. Dyrus was once again left alone on an island, and if you do that against a team like Fnatic, better yet, a team like EDG, this is going to be a bad weekend for TSM.
I think the picks really scared TSM into playing their own game because you know you can lose every 2v2 in the solo lanes. You got Gragas Cassiopeia on one side, you got Gragas LeBlanc versus Cho'Gath Rek'Sai. You know, it's not the best matchup just because of how mobile Gragas and LeBlanc can be. But the problem was that their vision just was being pushed back. They didn't get aggressive ward for keeping an eye on the Gragas. Reignover had a free map. He didn't care where he was going because he knew there was no wards. All the lines of wards, which are few by that notion, were just very deep within the TSM jungle. So Reignover can just, you get a level 2 gank. You got to expect that when you're playing an immobile champion like Cho'Gath versus the LeBlanc.
He had reign over everything.
Sheepy, this was your call. You predicted the Fnatic win here. It's got to feel good knowing that already you're the only analyst with 100%.
Yeah, I'm off to a good start, I feel. So I will be easy here on TSM. This felt like a déjà vu. When we played against Fnatic, kind of the same thing happened. They picked Hecarim, we picked Irelia. We got like 0-4 Irelia with like double tower dive. So I was watching this game and I was like, oh wow, I know this field, Dyrus. I'm really, really sorry for you.
All right, well, before we jump, we're going to break down the rest of the match in just a moment. But before we do so, we've got Shock standing by with 2 of our winners.